Hello everyone. Thank you for joining my presentation. My name is Lakshanta and I'm an application engineer from Seed Studio. In this presentation, I will talk about how you can use the Yocto project to create custom embedded Linux systems for Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4 based Carrier boards, x86 boards, and STM32 boards. This will be the overview for this session. I will start off by explaining a little about the challenges when creating a custom Linux system for embedded systems and how Yocto project can help solve these challenges. Next, I will show about the Yocto BSPs that are available for single board computers by Seed Studio and give brief introductions about these products as well. After that, I will show you how you can easily build a custom Linux image for the Odyssey x86 board with an OTA update client integration. I will demonstrate how you can easily push OTA updates to Odyssey x86 and other SBCs using Mender. Finally, I will showcase two human-machine interface demos for reTerminal, one based on Qt5 and another based on LVGL. So I hope I will be able to successfully run the demonstrations in this session because I will be running them live here. So let's move on. I will start off by talking about the challenges when creating custom Linux systems for embedded devices. First of all, creating a custom Linux system is not a very easy process, especially if you want to create the Linux system for an embedded device. You will find it a very hard time to build a system that will work for that particular device. Also, it is not very easy to customize the system if you want to add different packages to the image and do some configurations to the system. If you have already created a custom Linux system for a particular embedded device and want to create another system for another device, you will have to go through the same build process from scratch, and this would be a very time-consuming process. So you can solve the previous challenges by using Yocto project to build custom Linux systems for embedded devices. So Yocto provides a lot of resources such as templates, tools, methods, and working code to easily build a custom Linux system. Also, it uses layer model, which contains related set of instructions which tell the build system what to do. You could have an application configuration in a different layer, and it will help simplify future customizations and reuse. Yocto BSPs, also known as board support packages, is also a type of layer provided by board manufacturers such as us, Seed Studio. So it is a collection of information that defines how to support a particular hardware device, such as kernel configuration and additional hardware drivers. When using Yocto, once you build a system and want to build again with a different configuration and added features, you don't have to go through the build process all over again. Instead, Yocto will reuse already built resources to make the build process much faster on consecutive builds. The same applies if you want to build for multiple hardware platforms. So following up my introduction about Yocto, now I will introduce the Yocto BSPs, the board support packages that are developed by us, Seed Studio, to support our single board computers. So far, we have developed BSPs for the Odyssey x86 board, the reTerminal board, the dual gigabit Ethernet carrier board for Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4, and the Odyssey STM32 MP157C. So we will continue to develop BSPs for more single board computers in the future. So I will now briefly go through these BSPs. So I will open up the GitHub. So you can see this is the source code for the Odyssey x86 BSP. So here, actually, we use GitHub Actions to create system images. So we have created the process here. And if we go to Actions, we can see that the latest build here, and you can download the system image from here. And then you can flash the system image to the board and run from there. Also, you can use the source code to build the images by yourself locally. So here, if I go to conf machine, So you can see that we have machine configuration files for this board. So as you can see, one machine is for the general Yocto build, and another machine is configuration is for the Yocto build with Mender client integration. So I have explained that I'm going to show Mender later, a simple demo about Mender. So we will support Mender for other seed species as well in the future. So I will also demonstrate later in this presentation how you can use Mender to push OTA updates to this board. So moving on to the recipes core images. So this is actually the main recipe that we use to build the system image. And finally, this one, actually this includes kernel configurations and drivers that need to be loaded in order for this board to work properly. So moving on to the source code of the CM4 boards. So I have mentioned that we have two CM4 based boards. So the Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4 based boards. One is the reterminal and the other is the dual gigabit Ethernet carrier board for Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4. So in this case, we use the Dunfeld branch. And here also, if we use GitHub Actions to compile the images. So you can also use the source code to compile by yourself also. And here for the machines, actually we have 4 machines. So 2 for the general Yocto build and another 2 for the Yocto build with Mender client integration. And these 4 are corresponding to the 2 boards that I have mentioned before. And if you go to the core image, so here we can find 2 recipes to build the system images. So one for the reterminal and another for the other carrier board. So if we explore one of these recipes, we can see that we have already included a lot of packages inside, such as I2C tools, iPerf3. So you can see a lot of packages are already here. So if you want, you can also add more packages here and compile by yourself. So in DevTools, you can see more packages. And also we have added 2 human machine interface demos for the reterminal using Qt5 and LVGL. So I will showcase them later in this presentation about working with those 2 demos. So for the next BSP that I mentioned, that is for the Odyssey STM32 MP157C. So here we use the machine provided by ST. And also if we go here, this is the main image recipe that we use to build the system image. So now I will give a brief introduction about the single board computers that I have mentioned before. So first is this board. So this is the reterminal I mentioned before. So it is powered by a Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4 and has a 5-inch multi-touch screen. So it is well suited for human-machine interface applications and has several wireless and wired connectivity options. Also, it has secure hardware-based key storage with a cryptographic core processor. So the second board is also based on the Compute Module 4, and it is a very suitable to use as a software router because it has 2 gigabit Ethernet ports. It has additional connectivity options as well, such as MIPI CSI, MIPI DSI, micro HDMI, and more. So next is the Odyssey x86 board. So this board is powered by an Intel Celeron J4125, and it is suitable to be used as a mini PC. It has expansion options, including support for M.2 SSDs and SATA HDDs. Also, it has both wired and wireless connectivity options. So the last board I have mentioned, that is the Odyssey STM32MP157C. So it is powered by a dual-core ARM Cortex-A7 core processor with Cortex-M4. This also has wired and wireless connectivity options. Overall, this board can be a great prototyping tool for your project. So next, what I will do is I will walk you through in building a custom Linux image for the Odyssey x86 board that I have mentioned before. Here I will also add an extra layer which has the Mender client integration so that we could do over-the-air updates to this board. So now I will connect to my Ubuntu computer via SSH. So I have connected to it. So let's start here to do a small demonstration. So I will first start by creating a project directory. So I will create a new directory for a project. And sorry, that was a mistake. I'm sorry. Yeah. And then I will go into the directory. Next, I will add a new directory to keep our layers. So the layers that we are going to use. Okay, I'm doing the wrong commands here. Okay, so yeah, and first, so I will clone the Pokey repo. So yeah, so I think it'll take a couple of seconds here. Okay, is a bit slow. Okay, hopefully it will go faster. Okay, sure. Started off slow. Okay, it's going good. All right. Next, we will clone the layer for Meta Intel. And next will be the Meta Odyssey x86, that is our BSP. And then I will add the Mender layer. So I told you we are going to add the Mender client configuration. So this is the Mender layer. And finally, the Meta Open Embedded layer. Okay, so now I will move back one directory and then I will initialize the build environment. So Pokey. And I will start adding the layers. So bitbake, layers, add layer. So first I will add the Meta Intel layer. Next I will add the Meta Odyssey x86 layer. Next, the Meta Open Embedded. So actually, inside Open Embedded, we need to use Meta OE and Meta. I'm sorry, I cannot see this. Meta Python. After that, I will use the Meta Mender layer. So Meta Mender. So inside the Meta Mender core, and then Meta Mender. Sorry. Okay. So Meta Mender demo. Yeah. That was a mistake. Yeah. So now we have added all the layers that we need for this build. So before starting, so I will show you again. So this is, so we use the machine as the Odyssey x86 Mender. So I showed you before here. So if you go back to this Odyssey x86, so for the machine, so conf machine. So here I use this one, Odyssey x86 Mender machine configuration. And for the image recipe, I used Odyssey image base. So that is this one, this image. So this one. So now I will start building this. So sorry. Yeah. So the build process will take some time, and it will mainly depend on the processing power of your CPU. So it will. So I will not leave it like this because it will take a long time to build this. So I will just stop it from here. So yeah, so after the compilation of this is finished, it will generate bootable system images so that you can directly flash the image to the Odyssey x86 board. So, okay. So now I will talk a little bit about the OTA updates for embedded devices. So over-the-air update is an update where there is a central server and this server is pushing software or system updates to other devices which are located remotely. The remote devices report to the server periodically to check for updates. If there is a software update available for a particular device, the remote device downloads the update and installs it. So Mender is a secure and robust update system designed to handle large number of devices. It has a simple client and server architecture, allowing central management of deployments to all devices. So now I will open the Mender server management user interface to push an OTA update to this board. So after I created the image before, I have flashed the image to the Odyssey x86 board. And now the board has been turned on and it is actually asking for requests to accept the device here. So it says pending device. So I will click on it. And if we go here, we can see that this is the request. So I will accept it from here. So once the device is accepted, we can see here. So you can see here. So here we can see more device information. So if we go down here, we can see that the currently installed system software version is release 1. So now what I will do is I will try to deploy a software update over the air to this board. So if we go to releases, so actually you need to click upload here and upload the system image that you want to deploy to this board. So I will not do that here because it will take quite some time for the upload process. So I have already uploaded here that image, the system image. So this release 2. So let's now create a deployment with this release. So I will select all devices as the device group because this is the only device that I have connected to this Mender server. So I will go through creating the deployment next. And then finally, I will create the deployment. So if we go to view details, we can see the deployment status here. So here you can see. So now at first what it's doing, it's downloading the image to the Odyssey x86 board. So once it's downloaded to the board, it will reboot. So we will see that in a while. So let's give it a couple of seconds. See, okay. So yeah, so you can see the device is rebooting now. So now it will take some time actually for this reboot to finish. So once this reboot is finished, this the current software version will change from release 1 to release 2. So actually, on a side note, I want to mention that following up with the previous presentation, actually Mender is also using AB rootfs system. So it's also it can also do the same as before. So so if this fails, it will fall back to the previous rootfs. So that is what's going to happen when using Mender. So next, so I mentioned that I will showcase the LVGL demo before. So here the demo that I am going to use is the demo that we have included with the reterminal Yocto compilation. So LVGL provides everything you need to create an embedded GUI with easy to use graphical elements, beautiful visual effects, and a low memory footprint. LVGL is a graphics library targeting microcontrollers with limited resources. So now I will switch to my other camera to show you the the LVGL demo. So it will take a couple of seconds. Yeah. So, okay. So this, yeah. So I will stop sharing my screen because I want to show you my other camera. Okay. So this is the reterminal device. And currently it's just running a demo provided by LVGL themselves. So as you can see, it is a very simple demo. So with UI elements, so you can see there's a slider, there are some buttons. And also here you can see, you can type something, there's a keyboard. And if you go to this page, you can see some graphs, some interactive graphs, charts, some gauges. And also finally, you can see more UI elements on this page. So that is it for the LVGL demo. So next, I will move on to the Qt5 demo. So that will be the final demo that I'm going to show. So I will switch back to my screen share. Okay. So, okay. So next is the reterminal Qt5 demo. So this is also included with the reterminal Yocto compilation. So actually here, we have used PySide2 for the development, and PySide2 is the official Python module from the Qt for Python project, which provides access to the complete Qt5 framework. Qt for Python allows you to build interactive user interfaces in a more user-friendly way. It is also very flexible to use and has a short learning curve. So if I move back to my other screen, okay, so I will show you that demo also. Just give me a minute. 1480. Okay. So that demo will be this one. Okay. So I'm not on full screen, Trevor. Is that right?
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So this is the demo for Qt5. So actually here, here we have developed this demo to check the device status, test device hardware, and also change device settings. So moving on to the first page, we can see some system information here at a glance, such as the CM4 hardware version, OS version, and the kernel version. So the next page, you can see some system resource usage, some gauges. And next, actually in this page, we can check whether the inbuilt hardware is working properly or not. So you can see this, this part is to check for the light intensity. And here you can see, we can check whether the buttons are working properly or not. And here we can see some graphs for the accelerometer. And here we can see when we touch, we can visualize the position on the screen. And the fourth page is a static page where you can configure additional human-machine interface functionalities in the future. So the final page is actually to change general settings for this device, such as enabling SPI. You can see you can enable I2C, and also we can change the brightness from here. So also you can see you can shut down, reboot the device, and also exit from this demo. So that is it for this Qt5 demo, which we have built on top of the Yocto compilation. So yeah, so I'll move back to this. So actually that is it for my presentation. Thank you for listening and hope it was helpful to gain more knowledge about Yocto.